Hello guys, this is Maker 2000 back with another channel update, and let's not beat around the bush for this long. Here are all the topics that we're going to cover on this video. If you just want to hear one specific one, here are the timestamps of where to skip and when to hear them. With all that out of the way, let's get down to business for once and for all. I'm just gonna get these two plugs out of the way first because I'm not sure putting it at the end of the video is going to do them any favors. But I have created a Tracle and VidLii account for those who are unaware. Well, the VidLii account has been created way before I returned to YouTube, and the Tracle is just pretty recent. But both of them have the same purpose, being the second way of watching my videos in case YouTube decides to not work for some reason, or they just decide to accept the channel. Who knows, this is really unpredictable. We don't know what it's capable of doing. But pretty much if you still want to enjoy the video without these two inconveniences happening, I'm leaving the links to both accounts in the description and in the pinned comment. So pretty much in that way you can give them a look, and pretty much if you want to follow me on those two sites. If you're wondering about this channel's current status, not that pretty much all the videos are back, well, the answer is not that complicated. I'm just going to continue where I left off if like nothing happened. I mean, it wouldn't make sense that pretty much after 3 months of getting all the stuff back up for this channel, I didn't return to the stuff I was making, the series I had, and pretty much the projects I still have in line. And it wouldn't make sense if I did that. So yeah, I'm just going to continue operations in this channel. Fewer videos are going to take place here, though a couple of things, probably just few things from the old channel, are not gonna get carried to this one. I might explain it later. If you're wondering what's going to happen with the gaming channel and the classic channel after all the stuff that took place the last 6 months, well, with the classic channel, operations are going to still remain the same. Reuploads on my 2014 work in summers. Though for this year, I might take a couple of reupload spots for videos that I have adapted for the Video Maker Classics, since pretty much the place I hosted them, the previous channel, they're no longer there. So pretty much, it's the better time to just get those 10 videos I reupload them in the correct place, and pretty much the most fitting place possible. As for the gaming channel, well, I have no current plans on what to do. I still have some footage from games I recorded, but recently I haven't recorded anything for the channel, and pretty much I don't know what games to actually pick to record, since there's plenty of them I actually really want to showcase. But for now, I'll see what I can do, because that channel has been kind of really inactive for a really long time. For the next update, well, there's not a lot to say about this one. I'll be rebranding the outro yet again, but unlike the previous 3 times, I'm spicing up things a lot more, by not only including comments I particularly found funny, interesting, or overall pretty good, but also including the amounts of fan work I have been receiving this past couple of years. I feel they need some kind of recognition, and I feel putting it at the end of the video might give them the justice they deserve. But pretty much I'm not really going to ignore the roots of the outros. I'm still going to include the previous videos, my most recent piece, and of course the social media found that. But yeah, pretty much the outro is getting changed yet again, and I'm pretty much excited to just spice up a lot more. And for the next update, and one that can unfortunately disappoint certain people with, I'm no longer continuing the Video Maker interrogation series. I don't know why, but pretty much after the release of the 5th part, I never felt the need of following it with the 6th part. And this isn't uncommon. Pretty much after the release of one part, I will actually excitedly wait a couple of months before inaugurating the next part. With the 6th part, it never came. Pretty much, and it has been 4 years since I released the 5th video. Not only that, one driving factor I felt like is that Video Maker kinda stopped being a representation of me, but rather a character of his own. I no longer see him as me as a pony, but rather a pony character I created and I still have fun making stuff with. And pretty much seeing him answer questions that are mostly directed at me kind of feels weird, and pretty much I don't feel it represents me as a whole. So pretty much after deciding for a long time, I decided to kind of pull the plug in this series, and it kind of is a shame for myself, even for myself. So I apologize for those who were kind of excited for that day to finally come, and just straight up telling them it's not gonna come. But I feel the only way to actually compensate for this unfortunate update is that I'm thinking through in making another Q&A series, but this time actually trying to involve my face or pretty much playing around with another format. In that way I can kind of keep answering your questions that you want to ask me, but pretty much I just want to change up things as well, pretty much establishing a little bit more and playing around with Pony Maker's character. And I feel the Q&A panels kind of did that to an extent. I want to do it more in myself. I like to thank everyone that sent in questions for the series, and pretty much making the production of the last two really last. But even still, I apologize, and I'll see if I can bring a new Q&A series into the table. Fortunately, update videos are not really only about announcing the end of a series. They also work to announce a new one. And for this next update, I'm actually announcing that I don't know if I can call it as a series, but I want to make more Microsoft Sam videos. I know that this is not the first time, but I want to involve Sam more into the channel, since I feel his character can actually really work with the style I actually work. And I'm not really talking about a series of Sam reading funny Windows errors or funny signs or bloopers or anything like that, but rather a series about Sam getting involved in random stuff. Pretty much something that happens, and pretty much Sam just happens to be there, or pretty much something happens in Sam's life or anything. Pretty much, it's something like the AEK series that pretty much in a more random angle and pretty much involves Sam as a main character. When is it coming? I'm not sure, but I hope soon, because I do have 3 episodes planned, and pretty much they're not really the most complicated things possible. But I do really feel that these 3 episodes along, or 3 videos, I don't know if I can call it a series, I'll see if it counts, will pretty much make an understanding, if that's even a word, well, pretty much just setting the tone right of what I'm going to do with Sam. And now I'm just going to tell you what are the incoming projects I have in line. Well, the more standout cases. Because while pretty much I'm just gonna mention 6, I do have more than 6. So pretty much after I tell you the 6 standouts, I will leave you a list of the other upcoming projects. So pretty much you know that pretty much I'm not really out of ideas or anything. One of these projects is AGK episode 104, Angry German King Goes to Buffalo Wild Wings. Pretty much the most advanced quote-unquote projects in production terms, because I have the script ready, I have all the ideas placed in mind, and pretty much I really have started the project way back. It only happens that pretty much production kinda was halted because of all the stuff that happened in the last 6 months. Not only that, but college and pretty much anything other personal, which really kind of messed up production all of a sudden. Not only that, but I'm not really that far into the episode, but I feel it's not going to be as long as an episode that pretty much the previous 4 were. And for the next project I want to mention is Harold for Hire episode 11, Sparrow. Pretty much I decided, fuck, let's do another restaurant episode, and pretty much we come up with a more Italian one rather than American one. The script is finished, but pretty much production hasn't begun yet. But trust me, I think I have created a pretty decent episode here. Or pretty good. It really will depend on how you enjoy it. That's pretty much the goal I always want to get. And your entertainment. Within those 6 projects I want to stand out, one of them is a YTP. I'm aware it was a long time, and pretty much here it is. Pretty much I'm working on a YTP about Wolf from Bravely. Pretty much I feel I could test out my sentence mixing skills with this one, and pretty much I felt he was the perfect subject to make a YTP out. But of course, production kinda started way back in 2019, but many factors kinda halted the production. I'm hoping that pretty much I can finally get this project rolling without any problems, flowing, and pretty much finishing out as soon as possible. And I hope you enjoy this YTP when it comes out, because from the little stuff I have been working with, it looks like it's going to be a fun one.
I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes. Actually, if I don't to you about diabetes, I'm fucking right now.
Speaking of halted productions, another project I want to actually finish is Stickfigure Goes Bipolar. It has been 5 years since I announced it, and pretty much I haven't even finished. I'm trying to get as many guest animators and as well meet that goal I established back then of making it 16 minutes. I don't know when it's coming out, but I hope I'm able to finish it at least until this year or the oncoming year. Just hope it doesn't take this long. Another project I have in plan that I'm actually really excited for is Shorts and Fillers 3. It has been a long time since I did the last one, and I feel that pretty much it's time to dive into it again. Though anything hasn't been started yet, it's not even in pre-production, I still need to write the script. But from what I'm thinking about is trying to involve a little bit more skits rather than being heavily focused on Pony Video Maker and friends. I even include myself in the skits. Yeah, I'm kind of an egotist, but pretty much I really want to experiment a little bit more with this series. And I hope this entry really kind of shape up the future with this little series that I kind of left abandoned in 2015. And finally, the other project I want to stand out is a top 10, and pretty much more specific, a top 10 in the hardest Simpsons hit and run missions. That game has been from my childhood, and pretty much I really want to revisit it in some way with this channel. Production hasn't started yet, I don't really have anything to say about yet. I need to replay the game first, and pretty much before I dive into it. So pretty much, this one might take a real long time, and pretty much it's not really as big of a priority as the other 5. And that will be the 6 projects I wanted to stand out for your enjoyment, or excitement, or anything. Keep in mind that pretty much there's more than 6, like I said at the beginning of this section, and I'm leaving here a list of the other coming projects. But pretty much I wanted to stand out those 6 and pretty much get you excited for what's coming for this year. And I hope this list also does that as well. Of course, there's no release date of when these are coming. I mean, I'm not that good with deadlines, but I hope it doesn't take that long for one video to come out and another one to come out. Pretty much I don't really want to repeat another 2019 and 2020 where there were not exactly a lot of videos. But we don't know how it's going to play out. Pretty much college is a little bit too busy to sometimes I need to actually take a step back from making videos and pretty much attend it. So pretty much let's go with this. I'm able to finish this as soon as possible. And for a final update, I want to talk about Leopold. Don't worry folks, the series is not cancelled, so I still have interest in making more. However, production has unfortunately been halted because I forgot to take the screenshots for episode 4. Pretty much I didn't have the time to take them, and pretty much once YouTube just axed up the previous channel, pretty much I was unable to work on the new episodes. So pretty much if you really want production to resume as soon as possible, I suggest leaving your questions on episode 3. I left there the rules of what comes into asking a question for this series, but yeah, leave your questions on that video. But pretty much keep in mind that production might take a little bit while to resume because I can work without questions. Pretty much as Leopold wouldn't work without questions. Pretty much I don't want to even fake one. But I hope the series returns as soon as possible, way before 2022. And that will be all the updates I had in hand. I'd like to thank everyone for giving this channel 500 subs. Even if it's still a far cry from what I have reached previously, it still made my heart that people really love my content to even consider giving it a sub. No matter if you are a viewer that has been watching me way before this channel was created, this 2020 edition channel was created, or pretty much has been recently following me, pretty much I really like the support you're giving to this channel, and pretty much your support, and pretty much the comments, and pretty much even just a sub alone, it's enough for me to keep on going with my stuff. It has been AGK Videomaker 2000 signing off, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!